What I want to talk about now is not so much protecting what you've got, but the other side of good investing, which is actually making some money, isn't it? Okay? You notice the order I discussed them in? Protecting what you've got first, making money second. It's a good philosophy, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to discuss now is how we find opportunities for our members. Okay, Australian Stock Report is a subscription-based business. Okay, subscription-based business. Might skip that for 1 second and talk about some of these subscriptions. So what we do is we've got quite a few thousand members all over Australia who basically subscribe to our reports. There's 3 reports in total. The first one is the Investors Report, and this is for longer-term investors. Okay, self-managed super fund style investing, more of a buy and hold approach. Okay, we produce it once a week for share traders. Okay, it doesn't go short; it's just a long-only report. $690 for an annual subscription. The next one is the Traders Report. Now, what do you think's longer term or shorter term? Investors or traders? Traders. Yeah, you can speak up. You can speak up. Use those voices. Traders, much shorter term, isn't it? So a lot more transactions certainly can be used by CFD traders if you'd like, or just do normal shares. It's up to you. Frequent transactions, both long and short. Okay, so we've got a bunch of shorts in this report at the moment, which we're hoping really go down. And certainly what we've been able to do is limit our losses a great deal in the last few weeks because those shorts which have made us money have paid for those losses. And I think if you can break even in the last month or so, you've done a fantastic job, haven't you? Yep. Our shorts paid for our losses. Really great. Australian equities only. We produce this on a daily basis. So each evening around about 5:30, 6 p.m, the report's ready for you to use, and that costs $990 per annum because it takes us a bit more work. Okay, we're producing it every day. Then we've got, I guess, the deluxe version, which is our CFD Traders Report. Okay, now this isn't just Australian shares. This is Australian shares, US shares. Anybody trading our US shares at the moment? Might have a few members in the room. Yep, a couple of people. Is that you, David? Yeah. Welcome back. US shares, indices like the ASX 200. What's an example of another index? The one we all hang on every night. Went down 1,000 points in 5 minutes. The Dow Jones, isn't it? Remember the 16B instead of the 16M? Yep. Okay. Dow Jones, that's an index. Foreign exchange like the Australian dollar and commodities like gold and oil. Okay. This is really for CFD traders. Very short term, very frequent transactions. I mean, we'll be doing sometimes 2 or 3 trades, entering 2 or 3 trades a day. Okay, can be aggressively long or aggressively short. I'll let you guess what we are right now. Aggressively long or aggressively short? Aggressively short, absolutely. Dow was down 120 points last night, hooray. Yep, that's the way I think about it. Dow was down 120 last night, awesome. Okay, greater focus on return. We produce this 3 times a day, hence it costs a little bit more, $1,490. Okay, and the reason why we want you to start to think about some of these other more exotic things, maybe to some people, like US shares, commodities, gold and oil, is it's really important to think outside the square a little bit. And there are 4 product types that we like to trade. Shares is just one of them. Indices, foreign exchange, commodities, and you can see a picture up there of gold and oil. And I'll just skip forward a little bit. This is why you want to think outside the square. Can you see the fine print up the top? What's that a chart of? Apple. Apple computers, everyone. Who would have thought that that thing would be going up right now? Well, if anybody saw the line on George Street that I saw yesterday to get into the Apple store to buy a new, what are they? iPad. If you haven't heard what an iPad is, you've been an ostrich for the last 6 months, haven't you? Look at the Apple share price. I mean, was it hard to make that, to draw that conclusion? How many people in the room have an iPhone? Show of hands. Look at that. Baby boomers take note. What a great business model. Invent great gadgets and sell them to Gen X's and Gen Y's, isn't it? And they go nuts for them. They line up around the block to buy these things. How much free advertising did Apple get yesterday? You realise that Apple is now a bigger company than Microsoft. Amazing stuff. All right, that's the Apple share price. That's obviously a US stock. And we love to trade things like that. What's that one? Gold. Did anybody in the room say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, believe that gold was going to get to $1,000 an ounce? Who thought that was going to happen? I reckon a lot of people in this room. Yep, quite a few hands have gone up there. A lot of people felt strongly that gold was going to go to 1,000. In fact, it's at 1,200 now, isn't it? How many people in the room still think that gold's got a long way to go? I'm keeping my hand up here. Yeah, because, okay, when the euro's worth nothing and the US has printed more US dollars than they can possibly print, I reckon this is going to keep going up, isn't it? All right? So what I'm putting to you here, this concept of thinking outside the square, is back to that red dice. 3 sides. On the top, reward. On your right, risk. On your left, what was it? Effort. Yes. What would you rather have in your portfolio? That, or that, or that? That's not putting enough effort, isn't it? And I do get a bit passionate about these things because it frustrates me. Because you've got the equal ability to get out there and put your money on the absolute best opportunities from all over the world right now, yet people simply don't want to put in the effort to do that. And they end up holding that. Now, that one's going down clearly, of course. But if your stock's just going sideways right now, is it still going backwards? If your stock's going sideways, it's going backwards, isn't it? So you need to find for yourself these sorts of opportunities. And that's what we're all about, okay? I think we are. I think we're actually the only report in Australia that covers US shares and commodities and FX and indices in the one report. Pretty sure I can say that.